My infj friend, before we go any deeper, I need you to hear this slowly and clearly. There is nothing wrong with you. Not with your emotions, not with your sensitivity, not with the way your body reacts to the world. You were never too much. You were just built for depth in a world addicted to distraction. The infj isn't just a personality type. It's a neurological blueprint. Your brain, your hormones, your nervous system, they are wired differently. Not broken, not weak, different. And once you understand that difference, a hell of a lot about your life finally makes sense. This video moves beyond surface-level typology and fluffy stereotypes. We're going underneath into the circuitry, the biology, the quiet storm happening inside you every single day. Because the reason you feel everything so deeply isn't a character flaw. It's the result of a brain that processes information through meaning first, not stimulation, through pattern recognition, emotional attunement, and long-range intuition. You live in constant tension between insight and overload, between empathy and exhaustion, between knowing and feeling too damn much. And nobody ever taught you how to live inside that tension without burning out. So in this journey, we're breaking it down, why your mind never truly shuts off, why emotional noise feels physical, why withdrawal isn't avoidance, it's regulation, and why your sensitivity is actually a form of intelligence. If something clicks as we go, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment, I read them, and I reply. And if this kind of depth resonates, subscribe. This space is for people who feel deeply and think fiercely. Now let's step inside your nervous system. 1. How the infj brain is constantly feeling and analyzing. Your brain is never doing just one thing. While others separate emotion from logic, your system blends them into a single stream of meaning. Neurologically, infjs show strong interaction between the limbic system for emotional processing, the prefrontal cortex for analysis, foresight, and pattern detection, and the default mode network for internal narrative and imagination. Translation: you don't just feel something, you analyze it, contextualize it, and project where it's heading. Every emotion becomes data, every interaction becomes a pattern, every silence becomes a signal. This is why your mind feels like it's always on. You're not ruminating because you want to. You're integrating. Your nervous system is constantly asking what this means, where it's going, and what's beneath it. That depth gives you extraordinary insight, but it also means your brain doesn't filter emotional input very well. It absorbs it. Unspoken tension, background conflict, and subtle emotional shifts hit you like static in your bones. That's why you feel exhausted without doing anything. Why conversations replay in your head and why emotional environments drain you faster than physical effort. Your system wasn't built for surface living. It was built to understand reality at its roots. And that makes you wise beyond your years and tired beyond what most people ever see. When was the last time you were still emotionally processing something long after everyone else had moved on? 2. The neuroscience behind why infjs chase meaning over novelty. Your brain doesn't crave stimulation. It craves significance. Where many people chase dopamine through novelty, newness, speed, distraction, your nervous system seeks coherence. That's why shallow entertainment leaves you empty, why endless scrolling numbs you, and why small talk drains you faster than silence. Neurologically, infjs tend to favor long-term dopamine through purpose, serotonin stability through alignment, and oxytocin bonding through depth. You don't want more, you want true. Your nervous system is allergic to bullshit, and when you're forced to live in environments that prioritize speed over substance, your body rebels. You feel restless, disconnected, and underfed. Not because you're bored, but because you're starving for meaning. Purpose regulates you, depth stabilizes you, and alignment lets your nervous system exhale. That's why when you find something real, a calling, a relationship, a mission, you become intensely focused. Not obsessive, anchored, your system finally feels safe. Where in your life are you consuming stimulation instead of nourishment? 3. Why? Your brain makes you hyper-aware of social disharmony. Your nervous system is tuned to emotional discord the way musicians hear dissonance. Where others hear noise, you hear tension. Where others see faces, you see fractures. A pause that lasts half a second too long. A smile that doesn't reach the eyes. A joke that lands but lands wrong. You notice shifts in tone, micro-expressions, energy changes that never make it into words. This isn't intuition magic or spiritual fantasy, it's neurological sensitivity paired with advanced pattern recognition, your brain constantly scanning for coherence, for alignment, for emotional truth, and when something is off, even subtly, your system lights up like an alarm. Your mirror neuron system is highly active, which means you don't just observe emotions, you internally simulate them. When someone is anxious, your body tightens. When someone is angry but pretending not to be, your stomach knots. When a room is filled with unspoken conflict, your chest feels heavy before a single word is said. Conflict doesn't stay external for you, it enters your body. That's why unresolved tension gives you headaches. Why passive aggression drains you faster than open confrontation. Why you feel a strange sense of responsibility to smooth things over, translate emotions, or restore harmony even when it's not your job and damn well not your mess. Your nervous system is designed to sense imbalance and attempt correction, not because you're weak, but because at a deep biological level disharmony feels unsafe to you. But here's where it becomes dangerous. When you live like this long enough, you start mistaking awareness for responsibility. You begin regulating rooms instead of regulating yourself. You absorb emotional static that was never meant to live inside you, and over time that absorption turns inward. The tension you pick up externally becomes an inner critic, a constant background voice asking, "What did I miss? What did I do wrong? How can I fix this?" Not because you caused the problem, but because your system is always trying to resolve it. This is exactly why learning to work with your inner world matters so deeply for INFJs. And why tools that help quiet the internal noise are not luxuries for you, they're survival skills. If this resonates, my book Get Out of Your Head speaks directly to this experience. It explores how the inner critic forms, why it holds so much power over sensitive, perceptive minds, and how practices like meditation, boundary setting, and reframing self-limiting beliefs can help you reclaim your inner calm. You can find it on Amazon in paperback, Kindle, and audiobook formats. Get your copy now, the link is in the description below. Because the goal isn't to stop sensing, it's to stop carrying what isn't yours. For the real reason INFJs withdraw, a neurological reset. When you withdraw, people assume you're avoiding life, responsibility, or connection. You're not, you're recalibrating. Your nervous system takes in far more data than most emotional cues. Environmental shifts, relational undercurrents, and that constant intake has a cost. Silence isn't emptiness for you. It's restoration. Withdrawal is not escape, it's maintenance. Solitude isn't loneliness, it's medicine. Without regular retreat, your system begins to overload. Emotional fatigue sets in quietly. Decisions feel heavier than they should. Sensory input starts to feel abrasive instead of neutral. You become foggy, irritable, disconnected from your intuition. This is why alone time isn't optional for you. It's how your nervous system returns to baseline. It's where scattered signals reorganize into clarity. It's where your body finally stops bracing for impact. Isolation isn't your weakness, it's your regulator. When you deny yourself space, you don't become more functional, you become less yourself. But when you honor your need to withdraw, your insight sharpens, your empathy softens, and your sense of direction returns. What happens to your clarity when you don't give yourself space? 5. The tension between intuition and empathy. Your intuition sees patterns before words exist. Your empathy feels people before logic intervenes. And sometimes they don't agree. You sense someone isn't good for you, but you feel their pain, you recognize the warning signs. But you also understand their wounds. This creates an internal split. Boundaries get delayed, explanations get rationalized, exhaustion becomes familiar. You stay longer than you should, not because you're blind, but because you're compassionate. Your empathy keeps you connected while your intuition quietly waits to be honored. The work of the INFJ isn't choosing one over the other. It's learning when empathy must yield to intuition. Your intuition exists to protect you. Your empathy exists to connect you. Both are sacred. But without balance, empathy becomes self-erasure. When intuition is ignored long enough, your body pays the price. Tension builds, resentment leaks, energy drains. Listening to intuition doesn't make you cruel. It makes you sustainable. Where are you feeling something your intuition already warned you about? My infj friend, your nervous system was never designed for a shallow world. You were built to feel deeply because depth changes things. You were wired for meaning because meaning heals. You were given intuition because clarity is power. Understanding your biology doesn't limit you, it liberates you. It explains your needs without shaming them. It validates your boundaries without apology. You don't need to harden yourself to survive. You need to honor how you're built. If this resonated, I'd genuinely love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment. I read them and I reply. And if you want more soul-centered, science-backed depth like this, subscribe. You're not broken. You're finely tuned. And now, you finally know why.